Fanfic Corner, presented by Jennifer. Sombra's Midnight Star, Chapter 13, Obsession is Not Compassion, Part 2. Okay, for those of you who have not yet seen the previous videos for Sombra's Midnight Star, I suggest you go view those now, as this is a continuation of that story. Midnight. I have been avoiding Sombra for 3 days now, ever since Antros got into my head. Avoiding the alicorn you lived with was not an easy feat. I tell ya, how did Anethus step into my mind anyway? Alicorn magic had to be the answer, and that was all I would say on the matter. It still haunted my memory. Flashback to Midnight's vision. I stood in a dark room made all the scarier by black walls. I was supposed to be standing by Sombra's side at this time, in another place entirely. I had no idea how I arrived in such a room. Hoofs clacked on the white tile floor. Antros stepped out of the shadows, like a red jewel glinting amid black velvet. She smiled softly at me as she came closer. "Hello there, tiny companion," she said, gentle so not as to scare me more. "Sorry for all this. I had to borrow you for a while, as I would not want prying ears to hear our conversation. To put it simply, I want to tell you something. Do not offer your heart to Sombra. He will merely reject your love like he did mine. For centuries I have been in love with him, only to be cruelly rejected again and again. I am telling you this just to spare you the pain I have gone through and am suffering even now. Your life is far too short to fall in love with an immortal. Go find yourself a better, more noble stallion to love you, and not a bitter shut-in like Sombra." She said those words, and I found myself returned to Sombra's side, as if nothing had happened. Reality. Ever since Antros kidnapped my consciousness, I have been considering her words. If Sombra had rejected some pony like Antros over and over, what chances would I have? None. Zilch. Nada. So apparently it was best to try not to fall in love with the lovable goof. That would become harder and harder to do when I was constantly in his presence. That was the reason I was avoiding Sombra. And by harmony, he was hard to avoid. But somehow I had managed for the past several days, and now I was hiding under a bed in what I call the pink room. The walls were a soft pink, with shelves filled with pots of roses. The floor was a similarly rosy pink carpet to set off the light pink comforter on the bed. All in all, it was not a bad room, nor a bad hiding space. It made sense to hide there, since Sombra knew my aversion to the color pink and that I would never willingly enter a pink room. But I would certainly avoid this room in the future. He wouldn't look here, right? Red magic enveloped me in a warm cocoon. My hooves failed as it started to draw me out from under the bed. I scrambled with my magic to dispel it, but nothing worked. I was pulled up and up, upside down in the air to find a very annoyed black stallion. Oh boy, I was in trouble. Hi, Sombra. A long time no see. I smiled at the disgruntled male in front of me. His ruby red eyes conveyed an array of emotions, most of which were various hues of annoyance. I guess he didn't enjoy me avoiding him. Long time no see, eh? He rumbled. I believe it would have been since you, Star, started running away from me, so I need the truth. Why? Why what? Why the sky is blue? Or why your mane is black with red tips? Or... Stop. Just stop. My question is, why are you avoiding me? His nostrils flared in agitation. Oh, that's what he was talking about. Yeah, about that. Would you believe that I was busy? I answered with a cheeky smile even I wouldn't believe. He was not impressed, of course. Well, it was worth a shot. Okay, I've been avoiding you because of a code. A what? A code. A code which every mirror follows, I answered with a sudden confidence as blood rushed to my head. If another mirror is in love with a stallion, then all other mirrors should back off. And now he looked confused. Who? What? He asked. Wait a minute, what are you talking about? Anthony is in love with you, and I don't want to get in the way, I answered really quickly, my eyes closed against his response. I heard a low chuckle instead. I opened my eyes to find Sombra smirking slightly. Why, the alicorn lowered me gently onto the bed. I scrambled into a sitting position when his magic receded and my back hit the bed. Why are you laughing? I asked, confusion flooding my senses and probably escaping onto my face. He started laughing harder. Wow. Just wow. Sorry, he said, wiping the tears of laughter from his eyes. But I find that hilarious. Why? I asked in bewilderment. Because she is unable to feel love, or any real positive kind of emotion for that matter. I believe what she is experiencing is obsession. Unfortunately, she can feel that. He grumbled the last part. How is that different? What? How is what different? How is obsession different from love? I asked, waiting almost patiently for him to answer. As far as I could tell, there wasn't any difference at all. Sombra's jaw hung open, making his equine face look even longer. And I knew the answer would be a long time coming. Earth's Sombra, come in, Sombra. Are you there? I asked, waving my hoof in his shocked face. He suddenly shook his head and fluttered his eyes. What do you mean? What is the difference between love and obsession? You honestly don't know? He asked, still clearly surprised at my apparent stupidity. I asked you, didn't I? So... Sombra sat down with a huff, then put his hoof on my shoulder and looked me in the eyes. He said, Midnight, obsession is not love, and love is not obsession. They are two totally different things. The simplest way to put it is that love is an active, conscious, receptive choice for good involving another person, while obsession is a delusion by one party that the other party holds love for them. You can... Bang, bang, bang. Hold on, I'm coming. Hold your horses. Don't move from this spot, Midnight. We'll continue this conversation when I get back. He held me in place with his expression as he rushed to the door. Now what? I suppose I might as well find out who was at the door. I meandered out of the room and into the endless hallway. Walking towards the front door, I heard voices making their way down the hall. I started to run in hopes of catching the pony at the door. Curiosity killed the cat and all that. Finally making it to the door, I saw a blue Pegasus with bright yellow eyes bowing to Sombra. But his wings were... Oh, my sweet Harmony, that Pegasus had bat wings. A genuine night pony. Wow, I had to talk to him right away. I tried to race after the night pony, but red magic prevented me from catching him before he took off. And where do you think you're going, Miss Star? The caster of the red magic asked as he dragged me back inside. Why must he do that? I was going to talk to the night pony, I whined. I really wanted to meet one. It was on my list of things I wanted to do before I died. And Sombra had to go and ruin my one chance. I started to pout, but the dang stallion burst into a laughing fit. I would never be able to tolerate his laughing at my pouting. Stupid Alicorn didn't even know he was supposed to cave in and let me meet the night pony. What a dunce! You may speak with some night ponies on the way. We will be taking a trip to look for my mother. He started as he dumped me on his bed. I started to do a dance on top of the covers. Sombra just shook his head at my antics. But I was so excited because I was going on an adventure. Oh, before we leave, I need you to memorize this spell. Oh, a spell? I inquired. How exciting. This was going to be a lot of fun. What is it? What is it? I chanted, jumping up and down on the bed. Hold, Sombra commanded. Like a wolfling pup, I obeyed. Good. Now breathe. Are you done hyperventilating? Good. Now, here's the spell. Darkness become light by the power of her might. Chaos by mere harmony bested, equine free, never more tested. Cruel void song which traps thee by her power, be ye free. So I have to memorize this before we go? I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure that I can. Disappointment flooded my body as the reality that I needed to memorize such a long spell before we left. We would be here forever. Sombra laughed yet again. He seemed to be enjoying laughing at my woes. No, Miss Star. You are going to memorize this spell on the road. Now, without further ado, let us go. Wait, where were our bags?